Previously, the group left the Isles and headed to Axe Hill. Kessa's family was just as chaotic as ever, and their great grandmother was very happy to see the group. Bertrand slipped aside to have a quiet talk with Indra, explaining to her that the group wasn't finished yet, so he still had work to do. He also explained that he wasn't interested in her in the way she seemed to be interested in him. They agreed that it would be better for Bertrand to stay in Sod's life as his godfather, but not anything more. He was still family. After spending a decent chunk of the day in the city, Adria opened a portal in a tree and took them to the northern village. The group bought some warmer clothes immediately since it was fucking cold, and then Nova spent a while wandering the streets and trying to remember where his parents had once lived. When he found his former home, it immediately caught everyone's attention. While it was an empty lot, it was well maintained, and there was a very noticeable no trespassers sign. Nova turned invisible and stepped into the lot, looking around. A moment later, a half-elf woman with an arm wrapped in flames appeared out of nowhere and started frantically looking around. The group tried to talk their way out of it, only for Nova to turn visible and reveal that he knew the woman. Her name was Thalia Molinar, and once upon a time she'd been his teammate, one of his closest friends, and his first girlfriend. He'd forgotten her completely until he saw her, and then the memories all rushed back. She led the group to her home, a small and Spartan studio apartment nearby. Unlike Nova, she had all of her memories of her time with Arspec, and she helped him fit together a few of the missing pieces. She'd been trying to figure out who was in charge of Arspec for 14 years, which was how long it had been since everything fell apart for Nova, even if he hadn't known the exact timeline. She explained that their squad had started putting together that the people they were being sent out to kill were people who still worship the gods. The child who they let escape was quickly captured by Arspec, and they'd been using him since to make speeches about the dangers and evils of religion. Nova brought up the fact that the group was going to be guests of the Emperor, which she was surprised to hear since he'd already said that the whole group was wanted by Arspec. The group agreed it was weird, but it was what it was. She was very insistent that Nova bring her with him when the group brought down Arspec. Adria could instantly tell that she was at least somewhat suicidal, and she quickly mind-linked with Nova to tell him to be careful about what he promised. Nova managed to talk her down a bit, telling her that he didn't know what the group's plans were for the near future. They needed to take their time. She mentioned that she thought it might not be safe for her to stay in the northern village any longer, and Nova suggested that they reach out to Rialta to see if she'd let Thalia stay with her. Nova asked her what she had found out over the past 14 years. And that is where we left off.